Everything in Robert Sugden's life was finally starting to make sense again, until Kev Townsend's world fell apart, and suddenly every secret they'd both been hiding started crashing to the surface. Rumors in the village have been swirling for weeks, but no one expected how quickly things would spiral, or just how far Kev would go to stop Robert from walking away. It all started with a lie that was supposed to be harmless. Kev had convinced everyone he was living on borrowed time, using his failing heart as a way to keep Robert close. But behind closed doors, the truth was very different. His condition wasn't nearly as severe as he made it sound, and the only person who knew the real story was Liam, who'd been dragged into the secret without wanting any part of it. And once Kev realized he wasn't the only one lying, things took a darker turn. Word reached him that Victoria never had the brain tumor Robert used as the reason he needed to get out of prison. The moment Kev learned that, something snapped. That excuse, his husband's desperate plea for freedom, was built on a story that never existed. And suddenly, Kev wasn't the one clinging to Robert. Robert was the one who'd been looking for an escape all along. After a quiet chat with Charles, the truth hit even harder. Robert hadn't returned home for Kev at all. He came back because he couldn't stand the idea of Aaron marrying John. That was the real reason behind everything. The real reason Robert pulled every string he could. And when Kev heard that, every ounce of heartbreak turned into raw fury. He stormed toward Aaron's place, ready to confront them both, but Robert hid away while Aaron covered for him, insisting Kev had the wrong idea. And for a moment, Kev believed it, until Robert finally stopped running and made the decision he should have made years ago. He ended their marriage, just like that, right after they'd renewed their vows, right after Kev convinced himself he still had something to fight for. The breakup shattered him. One moment he was clinging to hope, and the next he was alone in a room full of promises that meant nothing. The tears, the anger, the fear, everything blended together until he couldn't think straight. And that's when the obsession kicked in. Not love, not hope, something deeper, something desperate, something dangerous. While Robert tried to rebuild his life with Aaron, Kev refused to accept the ending he'd been given. He kept pushing Liam to stay quiet about his fake illness, terrified that the truth would ruin the last piece of control he had left. And with every day that passed, he slipped a little further away from the person he used to be. The moment everything boiled over at Ross and Lewis's housewarming party, Kev showed up drunk, heart in pieces, pride long gone, and grabbed the karaoke mic like it was the only lifeline he had left. He started serenading Robert in front of everyone, slurring through a song that made the whole room go silent. It wasn't romantic. It was heartbreaking. It was a man unraveling in real time, clinging to someone who didn't want to be saved anymore. Later that night, Robert checked in on him out of guilt. He didn't want to see anyone suffer because of him, especially not someone he once promised forever to. He told Kev he'd be there for him when the end finally came, not knowing that end wasn't real at all. And those words, those few innocent words, twisted something inside Kev even further. He didn't hear comfort. He heard a promise. He heard hope. He heard something that wasn't there. And then, in a moment no one could have predicted, Kev reached into his jacket and pulled out a firearm, a silent threat, a terrifying warning, a symbol of just how far he was willing to go to keep Robert from leaving him behind. Where things go from here, no one knows. Rumors around the village say this is only the beginning of a much darker chapter, and fans are already speculating about what Kev plans to do next. But one thing is clear. This story is nowhere near finished, and the fallout is about to hit harder than anyone expects.